We are coming live to you from Mount Martha. I'm with Dave from Raw Travel, and we will be going through a range of scenarios today that may or may not happen on our trips.
Hopefully may not happen, but good to be prepared.
Absolutely. So our first one, which is unlikely but can happen, a missing or potentially lost person. So if somebody gets lost, what do we do?
So first of all, how do we know they're lost? We have checkpoints, and if a person doesn't turn up at that checkpoint and it's gone beyond the expected time when you could reasonably expect them to have arrived there, we can make an assumption that they may be lost. The other scenario is they ring us and tell us, help, I'm lost. That's fairly easy to deal with because everyone's has got a phone with them. We ask people to bring a phone. We ask them to check their Google Maps and determine their location. And that's relatively straightforward if they're on a street, because you can see where you are. But if you're in the middle of Green's Bush, for instance, if you looked on Google's Maps, all you're going to see is green. You're not really going to see much else. You might see a trail if you're lucky, and again it will depend upon if they even can load Google Maps if the signal isn't strong enough. So we're going to ask them a series of questions to determine where they are, and work out, when was the last time that they saw a checkpoint, they passed a checkpoint or a WSP sign, and then we'll work out, what time has elapsed since that point to kind of work out roughly where they are. We're assuming, of course, that there's not people coming behind them, and you quickly, sort that situation out. They know they're on the wrong track. They haven't seen anybody for a while. They might be the last person in the group. So in that instance, we would determine their approximate location, and we'd send somebody forward from the last known checkpoint, and possibly even somebody back from the next checkpoint if we have enough people. And we go back down the track until we find them. If they've wandered off the track and they're not on a definable track, we know they're lost and they're in the bush. So we get them to potentially, if they can, confidently retrace their steps to where they find the path and just wait there. Obviously, a lot of this depends on what time of the day is it happening at. How much daylight have we got left? We'll try and find people in the first instance, but we've always got to be prepared to make an early call to emergency services, because the last thing you want to do is to be looking for a missing or lost person in the dark. So you want to alert emergency services in advance of that. But most of the time we're going to be able to locate that person and find them by asking them those kind of questions and get them to retrace their steps, and we send people out to look for them. So that's the person who is lost, who we can contact. The person who we can't contact, because there might be no phone signal, it's a similar scenario. We're kind of working out the last checkpoint where we knew they were and how much time has elapsed, and then we send people out to look for them. And again, if we can't find them, then we're starting to alert the emergency services so that they've got time to come out and find them. So that's your missing and potentially lost scenarios.
Fabulous. And everyone who's walking with us will have a number, and they will check in with our track marshals along the way to make sure that we can record who's at what point in time where they might be. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a great feature. That will help you kind of isolate where that person is and the last time that they were actually checked in.
Great.